Hello, I am Mary Mazur. This is Change Your Funk to Fun today. Today is the start of a 12-week series that we are going to be learning about the universal law principles that the universe actually runs by, the world, how our world actually runs by. And we're going to dive deeply into each one of them each week and then let you actually receive it as a gift to you. And the more you can open up to receive and to become in alignment with these principles, the more you may notice that your life may be able to shift and turn into more synchronicity, more flow, living in more peace within yourself and harmony and the love of who you are. Because we all are being invited into this now. This is really one of the best times to be living right now, even though it does seem chaotic and wonky and weird. That's for sure. And I'm going through wonky, weird things too. This is why the gift is we get to change our funk to fun. And the funk of the last letter is K, which is the key. And so we'll be talking about Psyche. Psyche also has K at the end of it too, of finding that key within you to unlock your personal power, to remember who you are, and yes, letting things go, moving through the gateways of forgiveness, letting things go, and then speaking in how you want things to be, even writing them down, and then go and bringing in those inspired actions where you can actually go experience in new ways. So this is all the gift for you. There's a tremendous amount of support and help here now. And we'll be talking near the end of the show about Psyche and the supports that you can receive with this very powerful, fast, effective, and long-lasting powerful tool, transformational tool that you can use to help you with exactly this. Okay, so what are these 12 universal laws? Thank you for asking. The first one, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is divine oneness. So we're going to help you bring this gift to grow your heart with the gift of oneness. And that's what the focus will be today. So divine oneness, the law of divine oneness. We're going to be learning more about that. The second one is the law of vibration. Okay, that'll be next week. The third one, the law of attraction. The fourth, the law of correspondence. The fifth, the law of action, inspired action. Okay. The sixth one is law of cause and effect. The seventh is the law of compensation. The eighth is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So if you're working with energy, then that one. The ninth law is the law of relativity. The 10th law is the law of polarity. The 11th law, the law of rhythm. And the 12th law, the law of gender. And I actually like to say, instead of law, is a way. I actually view these as universal ways, because I do believe that there is a way, and there's actually a sacred way. We actually have a sacred way within us. I actually, at the end of the show, will be talking more about your sacred way that my dear friend of mine, Sabine, and I are putting together. We'll be putting an online class together that will probably be launched in December. So we'll talk more about that, so that you can discover and find your sacred way within you that's going to help you greatly and activate beautiful centers in your body. So for now, let's talk about divine oneness. So what is divine oneness? Isn't that a great question? Oneness. Well, it allows oneness is literally like the first universal law, which means it's like, you can kind of see it like an overlay, like with sacred geometry, where it is all and everything. So oneness is oneness, all. And divine is that spiritual part of how the universe operates. So we're going to be talking about your spiritual part of you and your connection with oneness. So what oneness offers for us is a way that we can help navigate this world. When one, we become aware of it. Two, we connect with it. And three, we actually become an aspect of this oneness here. So that's the three things that we're going to be offering for you today: is become aware of it, connect with it, and allow it to literally flow through you, being the energy field that you can raise your energy field up into, that vibration and that frequency, literally of a oneness aspect within you. This is what all of us are being called to do. And in order to do that, we're going to have to be clearing out some stuff. That's for sure. We're going to have to be honest with ourselves and address some things that might be blocking it, limiting it, disconnecting from that. Okay. And the other three things that we're going to bring to you with divine oneness is focused intention. So allow yourself to have a bit more of a focus today of what you do want, or what your heart is desiring. What feels right for you. These are different ways to express this, and with your focused positive intent of literally, ooh, how would you like to be? How would you like to be experiencing things? What would you like to yeah, be living in your life that maybe you're not having now, or experiencing yet. And the second one is to allow yourself to have intentional creation. You actually are the co-creator of your life, and when you can actually open up and become aware of that, and claim it and activate your personal power within you, uh, remembering that each one of us are actually equal divine beings here. It's all a spectrum. So there are some beings that are very disconnected from their divine oneness aspect of them, and they're in their complete separate self, a complete division. Okay. All the way up to the angelic realm, right? Where they are in oneness with oneness. So what is oneness? Oneness is that singular divine source of everything, of all. Many may call it God. You can call it, there's lots of religions that call different things, whether Allah or any other kind of religion, Yahweh, that we as humans have created a name for this singular divine source consciousness or quantum field. Some people are even scientifically, you can bring in even in that way. And then it really doesn't matter what you call it. That's kind of the funny thing is you can call it to whatever feels right for you. Make sure that feels right for you. We'll be calling it divine source here, oneness. So just imagine there was a time when all there was just oneness. It was oneness. But how long does that go for, right? Not a whole lot of difference is happening. Not a whole lot of experience is happening. It could be absolutely, it's magnificent in every possible way. But something happened, and we still all don't know what happened. The scientists will call it the Big Bang Theory. Religions will have different explanation for things. The philosophy is that at some point, oneness had its own consciousness that recognized, wow, you know what about if I just split myself up? What about if I just divided myself, or I just allowed a multitude, infinite possibilities of myself, infinite experiences and ways that I can experience. And in that experience, we all are still growing and experiencing something new, expanding, right? Living. And then with that, we'll be talking with the other universal laws, like the law of rhythm, that there's cycles, there's rhythms where, you maybe have really highs of stuff and then you kind of get dropped down into lows. Yeah, that's with oneness too. Oneness is the gift with oneness is that it gave each one of us free will choice. So that's that compassionate free will and your intention creation. Huge piece here, and where we are in this planet right now, that the line has pretty much been drawn that if you ever wanted to do harm to somebody, let's say lie, do harm, cheat, shortcut, uh, be in your own separate self-interest, those things are going to get exposed within our own lives, in the little microcosmic level, even to the macrocosmic, where we're going to be seeing it on stage, right? With the elections coming through in America, and other things across the world of anything that has been held back or lied or separate from, which is the opposite of oneness. The light is shining so bright now that this stuff is going to get exposed. And many of us that work as healers or supports, like I am a spiritual connector and a spiritual guide, that I help people connect spiritually with themselves and help them heal parts of them, of their emotional, mental bodies, physical bodies, that this is actually a really good thing, even though it might seem hard and difficult, and it might be jarring for some people, because there are many people that are still asleep, which just means they haven't awakened into the awareness level of this oneness yet. No, they haven't. They might have been programmed with a lot of other things, a lot with survival, that they just had to survive and look out for themselves, or just look out for themselves and their family. So it's just a more contracted energy level that a lot of humanity has been in. And the gift is we're all being called to birth in our true essence of our divine oneness. So you can easily say, who are you as a divine oneness? It's like you are the sun ray of the sun, or the water droplet of the ocean, even in that water droplet, you are the ocean. So even in that sun ray, you are the divine oneness. So just let yourself imagine this. If you could just imagine that, wow, you actually are divine oneness. And that is chosen and volunteered and said, yes, I'll come become a human and come here on earth, especially during this time, during the massive transformational time of Mother Earth going from 3D to 5D, us going from 3D to 5D. 3D is separateness. 3D is the opposite. That's what the opposite of oneness is the division, separateness, blaming, not taking responsibility for things, being in a victim energy, thinking things are happening to you instead of being aware that they're actually happening here for you. And you might have friends or family that are still operating in that way. There might be aspects of you that might be operating in that way. And it's actually, this is all part of it here. The gift is to be able to recognize it, admit it, and receive the help and the assistance. There's a lot of help and assistance here that can greatly help and assist you. That's our feminine part of us, being able to receive, being able to say yes, and to start anchoring up our self-worth, to know you are worthy to receive, you're worthy to heal, you're worthy to let go of the hurts and the harms and the wounds, the things you've gone through. You literally get to alchematize it, transmute it, change it, release it, end these things, and step into opening up and living in your heart. So this is the gift here today, is to, if you're in your mind a lot, if you're thinking about a lot of things, your mind's just going, thoughts, racing, and check in, pause for a second. If you notice it, if you're even noticing it, that's actually huge, because you can then do something about it. And with that, check in with, like, basically, what energy field are you in? Like, how are you feeling? If you are feeling afraid, if you feel anxious, nervous, worried, right? Or even if some guilt or shame has come in, anger, things like that. These are all the condensed aspects of a separation from oneness of who we are. Because with oneness, you will be in a higher energy field, one of flow, one of love, peace, joy, harmony. Yeah. And we can have a mix of this within us. All of us actually are having quite a bit of mix of that. So what's really good is that with divine oneness, ask yourself, how can I help it, grow my heart? That's a super great question to ask. The gift is you can ask yourself, so how can I use it? How can this be a gift for me? What can I do? Like, once I learn about what divine oneness is, what can I do about that? How can I help and align myself so that I actually can experience it, feel it, be it, live it, and share it, right? Yay! And can you just imagine if when all of us do this across this world, then we then definitely going to be living in the heaven on earth here. And how wonderful is that? And we actually are moving into that. We are in the Aquarian age, and this next 1,000 years is meant to be the next 1,000 years of peace. And because many of us are not there yet, it's very important for us to admit when you're not feeling right, admit when things are off, when things are funky, admit when you're getting into judgment and criticism and things like that, because they actually are all here for you. They really are. And that's the gift here, is we're going to be helping you connect in within yourself and then letting you make the changes, because the changes are everything. And that's actually a big one. That's a big roadblock that actually helps, that actually contributes to us separating from the divine oneness that we actually are, is that fear, the fear of change. And our individual separate self, many people will call it the ego, is just your individual unique self is meant to actually rise up into connecting in with your divinity. This is what we're all being called to do. We're doing a 12-week series about universal laws, this first law of divine oneness. So the gift here is to bring the gift of divine oneness to grow your heart. And that's what we're here to do. Everyone gets to do this at their own pace, their own timing, and their own expansion level. Okay. So what we just talked about is that we actually are divine oneness incarnates here in our own unique ways. each one of us, as if we are like sun rays of the sun. So just imagine if that were really true. I know for some people might have a hard time with that, especially if they're still in a lot of polarity energy, or still thinking things are right and wrong, or still staying in a bunch of anger. You've got to if you are willing to become honest with yourself, or maybe if there's parts of you that still have those parts, this is all here for you to help you with that, to help access even those parts, because those parts are actually going to keep you separate. So if you feel like you're angry a lot of times through the day, frustrated a lot throughout the day, things are just hard and a struggle, uh, those are just signals for you. And the gift here is that you can actually use that energy. It's a contracted energy, and transmute it into an expanded energy. One way is by connecting with your divine oneness to help assist you with that, which is super huge. And many people can use beautiful tools like meditation, and obviously saying positive affirmations are helpful. Although, and it can. It's definitely a practice that we have to continue to do, and be committed to. What I love to use is called Psyche, because Psyche is just faster and effective, and then I get to go bring my new way into the world. And I call meditation connection. So I actually like to connect. I definitely love to connect and check in with myself. That's for sure. So whatever works for you, definitely use and offer what works for you. And if you'd like a simple way, in the one that's fast and effective, then you may want to look into seeing if Psyche could be a great assistance for you. So with this, like for the example of using Psyche with helping you activate this divine oneness within you, when you work with a facilitator, they'll be asking you some key questions. And then if you come to the workshop to learn Psyche, you can actually learn how to use this for yourself and do it with yourself. It's actually the biggest power gift you give yourself, because you get to activate your own personal power and make the changes within yourself, which is really amazing. And it's okay to get support, and great to get supports with facilitations. And you can actually do both, because when you do both, things really start working and working out wonderful. So if you happen to be working with me, because I am a Psyche facilitator, then yes, I would be asking you, obviously, how are things going for you now? Like what actually is coming up for you that is blocking you from connecting into that divine oneness that you are, to really live from your heart center, to vibrate in the love of who you are, to feel the joy, the happiness, the peace, the harmony. If that's not happening a lot throughout your day, then it's just signaling you to actually check in with yourself. And are you ready? Are you ready to actually receive that? Would you like to experience and live in that way? Because the gift is you actually can. You actually can. And if I can just make a note, you don't need to have a near-death experience, although that can help people, but that's quite extreme stuff, right? Some people will go to extreme measures, or just have massive breakdowns where there is a massive healing, like a sickness, disease issue, or a major breakup in a relationship, or a major crash in finances. Your life is going to give you opportunities or signals. Many times it's just little knocks, little nudges. If you can hear those nudges and notice them and use them and become proactive, how beautiful. You can avoid some major crashes if you would like to avoid those major crashes. and you get to be very clear of how you do want to live. Would you like to be healthy? Would you like to have healthy, loving relationships? Would you like to feel free and feel good and see this world literally as like a heaven on earth, or as like a playground, as a wondrous thing? So this is how I love to live and want to live. And even I go through funky, weird things. Even these last couple of weeks, I've been going some real funky, weird things. The gift is that I left the land of victimhood, because I was definitely in it growing up for many years, and I was pretty programmed in victim energy, or I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me energy. Many of us got programmed with that, and then we kind of got our self-worth smashed and stuff, right? The gift comes in is that you get sick and tired of it after a while, and that's actually a gift. When you're actually tired of it, like, I'm tired of being stuck, I'm tired of having all these blocks happen, I'm tired of the crappy things happen. Yay! The gift is, instead of just complaining about it and blaming people and judging things like that, how about you can connect in to say, wow, if I am part of the divine oneness, how can I activate that and let that guide me, let that grow? And the gift is in your heart, letting your heart grow. and getting out of your mind. Most of us still operate from our minds. What are we thinking? We're not even in the present moment. We're thinking about the past and maybe the hurts that were there or the challenges that were there or fear of the future or unknown of, especially with financial stuff or relationship stuff or issues, maybe not really knowing what your purpose is yet, your plan for your life, things like that. Whatever is happening that you're going through, please let yourself know that this is, just imagine, this is actually here for you. And if this is here for you, wow, you can do something about it. You can actually make changes. You can actually be in a new way. And that's the gift here. Change your funk to fun, right? Get whatever crappy stuff is going on. You can actually just call it funky stuff if you would like to do that. Because when you can call it funky stuff, it actually can get a little humorous because you're like, wow, that's like really interesting, right? Yeah, and then at the high, to me, I love fun things. So if you can bring it up to the highest level of fun, of laughing and joy and play and realizing, whoa, like this is kind of like we living in like the Matrix movie, like where once Neon gets out of the Matrix, right, where he actually saw that, wow, this is just a simulation. This is all made up stuff, but we totally buy into it, and we totally think every story we're going through is actually really true and very personal and all of that. We get to decide whatever belief we want. We get to decide whatever perception you would like to have. What this talk is here to help you with is, would you like to expand those perceptions? Would you like to change those beliefs? Would you like to change those ways of being so that you can actually vibrate in the love of who you are, the peace, the joy, the harmony, the flow, with the deep interconnectedness of all? Because oneness is that deep interconnectedness with all. Oneness expanding into all of us and everything here on earth. Like, it's really amazing. And even across the whole universe. So when we can actually, it's, I think, even beyond us as humans to even imagine, whew, what? Yeah. And the gift is everything is actually in order with the sacred geometry, even with numbers and with our language, that everything is purposeful. Everything's happening for a reason, and it's actually here for you. And if you can start signaling in, oh, I wonder what this is here for me for. How can I turn it for good? How, yeah, I guess how can I connect in with my divine oneness? What can I do, or who can I become? What do I need to clear out or clean up so that this can be my new way? Because you actually already are divine oneness incarnate here in your own unique way. You don't have to go become it. No, you actually already are it. It's just we have been so programmed that we're not it on the way into the spectrum of that separateness, the illusion of separation, or just the denial of our truth and of who we are. And we did agree to come in as a newborn baby, right? It's kind of like a clean slate, but yet we also got all the baggage of our parents' baggage and our ancestries and our cultures, issues that they're dealing with. The first 7 years of life, we get programmed with all of those beliefs and ways of being. And then for many people, that just runs their whole life, throughout their whole life, which really can be like jarring and like, what the heck is that about? Well, yay. The good gift is that with this lifetime, each one of us are being like, your spirit, your higher self is saying, hey, you're not just a human being. You're not just this body. You are way more. Can you just imagine that you are pure love and light, that you are literally a vibrating energy being that is eternal, that is connected with oneness consciousness? It's basically like the child of oneness or child of God, that you get to participate here. You get to go make your free will choices, your intentional choices here, your intentional free will. What do you want to experience? What don't you want to experience? Focus more on what you do want to experience or what your heart is calling you for. And that's that focused intent. What is it that what matters to you? What gets you excited? What are you passionate about? This is actually how we're meant to live. We're not meant to just live, just getting by or just surviving. That's a denser, contracted energy, limitation, that many of us have been operating from and doing things to sacrifice or out of duty or, giving ourselves away, thinking of everybody else instead of ourselves. And it's just how, like, a lot of religions, programmed a lot of us in our societies and our parents. And I mean, hey, if you like that way and that's just how you want to be, you have that right. You do get that free will choice of that. But you may want to check in to say, maybe there could be another way. And how can I do that? What can I do? Or who can I become? What changes can I make so that I can operate in a new way? Yeah, right. Could you just imagine? And we can even close your eyes, connecting in with your heart. Just imagine you have this beautiful, radiant heart vibrating. Okay, because you're actually a heart-centered being of pure love and light. And then, okay, so maybe your heart has some like overlays or some cracks or some hurts. Maybe you have been really wounded or hurt, or you had really hard times in your life so far. And then it could even be other lifetimes that are connecting into here too. All right, be real with yourself. It's actually huge when you can be real with yourself, because when you can be real with yourself, that's actually wonderful, because it's in the realness where the justice can come in, or where the truth can come in. Your justice is your truth, the truth of who you truly are, what you're desiring, and what matters to you. So being able to do that, connecting into your heart. You can even ask your heart, what is it that I'm yearning for or that I need? It's okay to have needs. I know I grew up where I wasn't even taught that I was supposed to have needs. I had to act like I was self-reliant and self-sufficient, and don't ask me, I can handle myself. I don't need anybody's help. Did you get that too? Because if you did, you can change it. I changed it with using the gift of Psyche. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm open to receive now. I'm open to share what my needs are. And yeah, let myself know. And it's okay even to be vulnerable. These are new pieces for us here. And to be able to connect with my divine oneness. And you can too. You get to connect with the divine oneness that's in your heart. And it's actually who you really are. So bring the gift of divine oneness to grow your heart. This is what we are offering for you today. So how can we bring this into realness, the divine oneness aspect that you actually are? Let that part of you expand and grow. And let's clear out any blocks, limitations, separateness from your divine oneness. Because when you can do these things for yourself and become this for within yourself, you'll be amazed how much better you feel, how much more of a flow you'll be in, how more enjoyable your life will be, and synchronicities to a much higher level than you had before. The gift of Psyche helps greatly with this. Working with a Psyche facilitator is wonderful because you can get right to it with whatever the changes you're ready for. And we do recommend, especially at the end of the talk today, we'll be talking about come learn this for yourself. You can do in person or online, because why not? Why not have this tool? It's one of the most powerful tools, and every single everyone that's come to my workshop that I teach are forever grateful. And I'm forever grateful for that they said yes to themselves and they helped them in this most passionate way. So how can you bring in this realness with the divine oneness? Well, let's look at 3 areas. The first area with relationships, the relationship stress. So let's say you are in a relationship where you're not treated well. It's like criticism, put down, blaming, disconnection. Maybe your partner is like in their own world and, doesn't know how to connect in their hearts, things like that. And then for many, that's actually kind of what I went through, that there will become a time when you get sick of it, or where you realize, no, I want to either just have time with myself, and that's what I'm doing now, is to actually enjoy my time with me and what I want to do, and which is really beautiful. And then when the time is right, I'm happy to connect with a partner, one that's open-hearted, one that's actually kind and thoughtful and caring, is in the divine oneness within himself, that he knows he is part of the divine oneness, and that he can share that divine oneness of pure love, and that I can too. Yes. So if you are in difficult, stressful situations, or just, it's just like frustrating, or you're angry or resentful, use that. And that is the gift. You actually can, with Psyche, you can transform your perception of that. So you can step into that anger, step into that resentment, and the facilitator will guide you through, or if you learn it for yourself, you do it with yourself to shift that, alchemize that, change that. Literally, you are reconnecting back to your divine oneness again. That's the gift of what you get to do with yourself in any positive change that you do within yourself. And in that journey, you'll be amazed what you are letting go of, what your awareness comes up. Many of you may not even be aware you were really treated terribly. I actually thought, I actually had a good husband and thought we had a good relationship. But actually, after that we left the situation, I did realize, wow, we are a lot different. And it's okay. and in knowing what you do want instead of staying stuck or being unhappy or just things aren't going in life the way you would like them. You can actually change them. You really can. Get some help. I mean, it's nice, like we say, you can do a psychic facilitator, you can go to therapists, counselors, best friends. The gift comes in is when you can actually connect in, like we said, in your heart with your divine oneness and clear off anything that's separating you from that. So, with using Psyche, you literally upgrade your subconscious mind. So you'll have the new program, I am, and you can create what that new program is. Like, I am deeply connected with my divine oneness. How beautiful is that? Because when you are, oh my goodness, your heart's going to be expanding. You'll be feeling so much better. Yeah, and then you can ask again. All right, what else might be blocking that, or whatever? What might you be afraid of? Of making new changes, because changes are hard and difficult. I mean, it is tough to go through big changes, and you may need to move through emotional parts within you, sad parts within you. That's what I've been working with myself. That these sad parts really come up. And I have learned to, with my connection with my divine oneness, is to love on those parts, to give that big hug, let myself feel it. We're meant to feel this. And to recognize I'm not those emotions. It's just emotions that are moving through my body from the experiences that I've had. And once I can move it through, like in 90 seconds or so, minute and a half, then check in. Okay, so how do I want to be with this? Sadness is just an aspect of your love, especially when you've lost something. You let something go, maybe a loss of a dream or loss of someone or something. That what is your heart needing now? What are you needing now? What would you love to have that can help you return yourself back to your wholeness, back to the divine oneness of who you are? Yeah. So many may just be, I just have to remember again that, you know what? I can access my love at any time. I can connect with my peace within myself at any time. These are beautiful programs to have within yourself. I am safe. I am safe is a huge one. I am safe and secure. Knowing that you are safe, then your nervous system doesn't have to signal out those hormones of the fight, flight hormones, the flight, freeze, and fawn. I guess there's 4 of them now. I just learned a new one recently. And yeah, you get to, instead of signaling out those stress hormones or fear hormones, you get to open up into your love hormones. Your subconscious mind is going to do whatever programs that you have running. So your consciousness, your heart gets to decide how you want to be, how do you want to experience, and then you get to, with connection with your divine oneness, is fall in love with yourself or rise in love with yourself, which might even be a nicer way of saying it. You get to connect with the love of who you are, because you are love. You are pure love and light. That many of us agreed, okay, we forgot, we denied it, we blocked it, we're blinded to it. That's pretty typical. Okay. Just about all of us have, I would have to say. And it is kind of neat when the light starts coming in and you're just like, oh my gosh, oh, look at that. And it might be one side, like your masculine side, and then your feminine side, and then and then it doesn't even need that anymore. Yes, this is called the spiritual awakening that we're being called into, or the ascension. Yes, and a huge one is to be able to dance and become one with that divine oneness, to let it fill every cell of your body. You can even speak this in, is that, and feel it in your body that, yes, I am divine oneness. You remembering it is actually huge, and welcoming it, letting yourself, yes, receive it. And each of the ascended masters and beautiful spiritual beings have taught all of these principles in their own unique way. Catch yourself if you're fearful. Oh, if I believe in that, then I'm saying I'm God and I'm, the Almighty, and my ego's going to take over. That's not what this is about. What this is about is waking up and remembering who you are, connecting into the divine oneness, which is what we are. We literally are. It's almost like sand on the ocean. The little sand particle doesn't say, I don't know, I don't think I'm a sand. It just is. It's sand, right? Isn't that neat? But yet, us as human beings, we actually have free will choice, where we can deny ourselves. We can separate from our divinity. We can deplete ourselves. We can, judge and punish ourselves, self-sabotage ourselves. Many of us have done this to our own selves, and we can stop it. We can be done with it. We can call it out. We can say, yeah, okay, I might have done that, but I don't want to keep doing that anymore. I want this to be done. Okay. And that is actually huge, 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 because then your cells in your body can become, connecting to the love hormones instead of the fear hormones. And you'll begin to grow. Your immune system will get stronger. You'll begin to become healthier again. Your relationships will become healthier. Your finances, the abundance can start to come in. We can get creative, have inspired creation ideas, and feel good. Everything's a relationship. Maybe you don't have a great relationship with money. And Psyche helps greatly with that. We do a balance called the relationship balance, which is super huge. There's many different tools we have in Psyche that can help greatly assist. Yeah, because and let yourself know you're worthy of it, and that you have something important to share. You have gifts and talents and skills that you are meant to share with the world, and that you're meant to receive greatly for them. And let yourself know that this is the gift about bringing it into the realness in your life, and letting yourself be okay to say, yeah, I am an aspect of the divine oneness. Woo, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you. We all are. We all are. And if there are those that, have blocked it or denied it or say they're not it, they get that free will choice too. And that's the gift of many of us that learn how to have boundaries, learn how to say no, learn to actually not have them be a part of our life until they are ready to wake up to know that they are divine oneness too. That's just where I am right now. and it's all good. It feels really good. And I'm honoring them, unconditionally loving them, accepting them, whatever choices they want to make. And if that's just where they are or where they choose to be in their lifetime, that's their journey they're going to have. Oh, I let my heart guide me now instead of my mind. And that's one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself. Let your mind become your co-captain to your heart. It's very smart, and it can, help you to make good choices. And the gift with your mind is that you can connect with, all knowingness, your knowingness within you. And the key comes in with your heart is that you're meant to check in to see, how does it feel? Does that feel right? Is that true for you? Is this part of your true essence of your divine oneness that you actually are? And let it grow. Just like anything here, we were a little baby, and then we grow up into an adult. And many of us will need to do this spiritually within our spiritual bodies, is to begin to grow in your divine oneness of you. And it's infinite. You can grow to this to eternity, which is really amazing, right? We're going to be doing some really cool, amazing things here on this earth, which I'm thrilled about. I can't wait till all this cool stuff starts happening as we all continue to raise our vibrations and in our frequency, and to remembering who we are, activating these sacred centers in our body. That's what Sabine and I are going to be helping with the online classes with. And utilizing tools like Psyche, or you can use breath work or plant medicines, yoga, whatever you find works for you. And you can use a combination of them. That's what I love. Use a combination of them. They're all meant to work together. That's how the gift this is. Yes, yes. And let yourself know you can get excited about your life. You can get excited about what brings you joy. What do you want to do this week, this year, this decade? Let yourself dream again. Let yourself just imagine again and be curious again. Let yourself feel again and notice things and be real with yourself. Be true to yourself. If you're not feeling well, or you're feeling tired, or yucky things are happening, funky things are happening, okay. Let yourself realize that they may just be here for you, actually. What can you utilize within yourself, connecting in your divine oneness, that this is calling for? Maybe it is rest. Maybe it is just sharing what you're going through, or just being with others who are also suffering right now and going through really, really hard times. Many of us volunteer to experience suffering, to experience hardships, real big challenges in our life. And it can get to a point where you can want to be done with it, want to release it, want to change and rise above it, and connect with your divine oneness to help guide you through these. Divine oneness law of the universal law of consciousness is you. You are an aspect of this, and it's here for you to help you with your self-healing, for you to help you with healing in relationships, healing with finances, healing with connecting with your purpose and your mission. And when you get to do this, and then when you really get some really cool, fun experiences in your life, you're like, yes, and then you get to celebrate. And that's actually what we're meant to do here. This is it. So this is what we're cheering you on for. You got this. You are divine oneness aspect here. It's time for you to connect into it. Let this vibrate within you. Let this motivate you, move you from your heart for what you're meant to be doing here and who you're meant to be. This week is divine oneness. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. So let divine oneness grow your heart. And how you do that is by connecting in, is by asking key questions within yourself of what might be blocking or limiting you from connecting with the divine oneness aspect that you actually are, and letting that grow and grow mightily. Divine oneness is that interconnectedness of everything. Everything began with a single source consciousness. And then now, as we have all have ooh come on out like a sun ray of the sun, where we all get to have unique experiences that enhances the singular source consciousness experiences in love and radiance and expansion. Any choice you've ever made, even if it was terrible ones or horrible ones, you can always transform things. You can always forgive. You can always let things go, and you can learn and grow through it all. And that's the gift of all of this with oneness, is that you'll realize you're always welcomed home. Welcome home in your heart. Connect into who you are. Discover who you are. Find out who it is, what matters to you, what's your purpose. These are big call outs that we are being called to do. And this is what I love to do, to help people to birth their true selves, to connect in, to help assist them in finding their sacred way back home, to their beingness, to their trueness of who you are. And one of the biggest ones is recognizing and knowing you are an aspect of divine oneness, that unity consciousness. That's us connecting into the fifth dimension now and saying goodbye to the third dimension of what we had lived most of our lives. Yes, yes. And you can do this one breath at a time, one step at a time, and like we call a psyche, one balance at a time. Every new change opens up new doorways for you, opens up you to a clearer path, and lets you vibrate in a higher vibrational, higher level of consciousness, and a larger expansion of your spiritual gifts. Yes, of healing any wounds or hardships or heart pieces that you have gone through. And you can do this. You can definitely do this. So if you want to reach me, if you want to have a private session with me or look into the workshops and the offerings that I have, go to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com. It's igniteandhealyourlife.com. You can click services if you want to look up a private session, because even just beginning with that is really huge. And then you can also look up at the upcoming workshops. I'll be teaching in September 20th weekend in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then the last weekend of September 27th to the 29th, is in Louisville, Kentucky. And then in October 8th to the 10th, is in Bloomington, Indiana. And then the first weekend of November 1st to the 3rd, is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Those are all in-person workshops learning how to use Psyche, huge pieces to unlock and activate your divine oneness, and then any changes, positive changes you're ready for. I also offer online workshops, and they can go across the world, which is great. I have people all over the world that come to those. And that'll be the second weekend of November. So November 8th to the 10th, and then there'll be more throughout the winter time. So this is here for you. It's in your free will choice and your timing and readiness to say yes. You can look up Dr. Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton is a cell biologist that loves Psyche. It helped him transform his life. And he's one of our biggest proponents. And Joe Dispenza likes it too, and Greg Braden. So it's great when you have these beautiful scientists and doctors that encourage it and use it too. And just let yourself, you're worthy of it. You are worthy of the changes. You are meant to connect with the divine oneness within you. Let that love radiate within you, and you can share it with all, because that's the abundance gift, is when you connect with that part of you, you're going to have the positive ripple effect for the whole world, for your family and this whole world. And we thank you for that. You are important. You are necessary. You are needed here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for all that you have gone through in your life, and then all that you might continue to go through. And then let's have life become easier, living in the flow, connecting with our divine oneness, which is absolutely wonderful. Well, I am Mary Mazur. This is Change Your Funk. Have a fantastic day and connect with your divine oneness. Aho.